What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? You already know what it is. It's your boy, Garcy, back in the building, talking that barber shit. Back at you with my boy yet again, Arthur. He got some stuff that he want to get off his chest. He got some things that he want to share with y'all. He got some information for barbers that's coming out. Barbers that people are deciding to be a barber, want to know how to get started, where they should go, how should they build up their clientele. There's information after information with more information. So, like my shirt, which I designed, when the impossible becomes the possible. And that's what I live by every day. So, you know, let's get to it. My boy Arthur, I see him on. Let's jump to it. You know what this live is about. Let's talk that shit. What up,
What's up,
man?
boss?
How you been?
Phenomenal, man. Phenomenal. Fantastic.
I like. So, we do what we do. We come to this IG to share information, to share knowledge, to talk that barbership, which you do very, very well. I see your content, I see your page, I watch, I learn, I share. I want, this is what this information, this platform is all about to, for me as well, because I'm learning a lot as well. Take in as much knowledge as possible within this journey, this new plus. I call it's a new life for me, a new changing moment because I came from another field, and then decided to always wanted to be a barber, but I always put something else before that, and then decided, hey, maybe it's that time for me to step into the game and see what I can do. So, enough about me. It's all about you, as it always is about this platform. It's, having the people that have been in the game for a while and are willing to share, willing to give back. And I just want to say I appreciate you for, reaching out and let's do it. Let's get to it. So what's on your
Yeah.
mind?
Oh man. Well, man, I'm just here, man, to serve, man. So really, like, um, as a new bar, how long you been in the game, bro?
Going on 2 years now.
Okay. So,
What with my
you,
license?
which license?
Yeah.
So, I guess the best way for me to like, that because I've been in the game for like 20 years. You know what I mean? So it's hard for me to like go back at year two to find out what are the troubles and the roadblocks that a barber stylist has then. You know what I mean? So it's better like me asking you, like, what are some of the roadblocks? What are some of the things that like people are challenged by when they just get around in that early in the game?
Well, for me, I mean, straight coming out of COVID, 2 years was taken from me. So, first year I had to really sit down and just, really understand like what was this whole direction of barbering after COVID was going to take place because I've seen a lot of shift, a lot of barbershops not being able to maintain their shop. I've seen a lot of people decided to go into their own salon, their own suite. A lot of people are, feeling that, the barbershop is not where it's at anymore. You can contain your own establishment. But that's I noticed that for me was like people that already had a strong clientele that was able to do that. For someone like me that was just strictly, new base and trying to figure everything out, like how do I use social media? Is social media it for like, is that the it factor to like gain clientele? Do I need to hit the street, like walk up to people? But knowing through COVID, like how do you come in contact with people without, them feeling like, I don't want to accept a business card from you. I really don't want to stand here and really communicate because, I got to wear a mask. Like, so that was some of like the drawbacks that I was dealing with. But like right now, I got a chance once everything kind of cleared up a little bit. I got a chance to work on Melrose for a while. That was a good breaking moment for me because it showed me a barbershop that was receiving a lot of like clientele, like because the barbers that I was with had a strong client base, so they was
Mhm.
always in and out. Um, that showed me like how to like, not be afraid, like how
Mhm.
to, just like I said, I'm still learning, I'm still learning the basics, I feel like I have the basic down, but I won't say that I was great at every single cut that was, coming in my direction. Cause, certain things I wasn't good at, I was still at the beginning board. But like I said, then I got a chance to move back into my old area, which is Inglewood, and it's a little slower. I'm inside a plaza, but the walk-in capacity for the shop is a little slow.
Mhm.
So it's like, I see a little content about like, is it the owner's fault for not having a lot of clientele, or is it the barber's fault for not building how like building? And then I'm like, okay, I'm in the mix of both. Like I can't blame the owner because he's giving me establishment,
Mhm.
which is very nice establishment. I'm in a plaza, so it's like it's traction. So
Mhm.
what
Mhm.
am I doing on my part to go out there and get the traction to come and know, hey, this is the barbershop. Come in and get a cut by me. So I'm like, sure. Now, I mean, like I said, we still in COVID base, and COVID's not done, but
Right.
I know it's kind of lightened a little bit where you can kind of walk up to people and kind of, make that interaction like you once did before.
Right.
So I don't know if that
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
it glitching?
It's glitching, but I'm good. We're good. So I mean that's good.
Okay, okay.
Can you hear me? Because it's glitching a little bit.
You want me to see you, or you want to say something?
Huh?
Because I didn't know if it was glitching when you was about to say it. I
No, I'm
said
good.
I don't know if
Yeah,
it
I'm
was
good.
glitching around the time you about to share something.
No, I'm good.
let
I'm
me
good.
let me check something and see if it's my.
All right.
All right, so
All right.
I
There
changed
you
the
go.
Wi-Fi, so hopefully it should be a little bit stronger now.
Okay,
Yeah.
good, good. So yeah, man,
So yeah,
you got
like I said, back to the. No, go.
yeah. So what I would say, man, because there's a lot of things that you can do, especially for people that have a hard time growing a clientele, and that's the thing. Like in this industry of barber and beauty, man, it's like you got to take ownership, right? And just getting into the game. A lot of people, what they teach you in school is to be like, hey, booth rent is the way, and be self-employed and all that stuff. And that's what a lot of people preach in the barber game. But really, what they don't tell you, and the biggest mistake that most barbers start off making, is they get into the barbershop or the salon and they take on the role of being self-employed, but they don't know how to run themselves like a business. It's the biggest mistake that you make, right?
Mhm.
Because if you take on the role of being an entrepreneur slash self-employed booth rent, that means you're inviting yourself into a world of entrepreneurship. Okay, and most people, what they do is, because they got the skill set, they go to a trade school to get the skill set of cutting hair, that they automatically think now that I'm a business, and that's not how it is at all, right? So you went to school when you got a skill, which is great, and you got to hone that skill, but that's not the only skill that you got to hone, right? One of the most important skills you got to hone is customer service, right? And when if you don't learn that the correct way, you don't have to be the best hair cutter, you don't have to be the best barber, you don't have to have the best skill set, but if you have the best customer service skills, if you know how to talk to people the correct way, if you know how to treat people, because people want to come to your chair for one reason only. They only want to come to your chair because they feel like it. You make them feel a certain way, right? So when you make them feel a certain way, it doesn't matter how good you cut, right? So the real skill set that most barbers fail at is making people feel good, making people feel like they should sit in their chair. That's
Yeah,
the biggest mistake,
yeah.
right? They think it's their skill set. They're not coming for you. They're coming for the confidence. They're coming for the time off. They're coming for the relaxation. They're coming because what I'm saying, they want a certain feeling, right? They want a certain feeling that they hope you can give them, right? They're not coming because you're that talented. So and if you can understand that, and you can really double down on that skill set. It doesn't matter how good you are. Now your skill set is just icing on top of that cake.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the number one mistake. Now the other thing is, you like, with COVID, how do I build a clientele? Well, the one thing I tell people all the time is you can't go global if you can't blow up local. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So if with social media, if you're not literally leveraging your social media in your local places, you're not going to build anything bigger than that. So
That's
yeah, here's a hack you can do. Like, you can literally just go, like, go through you in Cali, right?
yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I mean, Cali, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. You're right.
Yeah. So like, I mean, think about it. You got to understand, like, what type of people you want to serve. Like, what type of clients do you want to have, right? And once you identify your perfect clients, like who they are, what they look like, where they hang out at, you know what I'm saying? What time they wake up. You want to know more about your customers than they know about themselves. And when you do that research, bro, you know how to, you want to, it's like fishing. The most important part in fishing is not having the bait, right? It's not your fishing pole, right? It's not the tackle box. It's not having worms. It's, you want to be you want to fish in a pond or a pool of hungry fish,
Mm-hmm.
right? So in other words, you want hungry clients. Like, who are your clients is hungry for what you want, what you have to offer them. And when you have that, now you go hang out where they hang out at, right? In other words, you go look on your Instagram hashtag, and it might be downtown LA, right? It might be, and you just go hit a hashtag downtown LA, and you scroll through the hashtag and see all of the people that is your ideal client, and you start a conversation with them, right? And it's about conversation. It's not right off the rip, hey, I want to cut your hair. It's, hey, I like what you're doing. I hang out, I skateboard too. You feel me?
Yeah.
You want to build a relationship.
It's funny that you say that because I was just talking to my lady just about that today, and I was telling her how I feel like I'm building a strong base with talking barber shit, and it's me the opportunity to, like I said, to sit down with you and other barbers and female barbers that that have been in the game for a while, and you guys are sharing amazing content. But on my personal page, I'm developing in that. But like I said, I come from two different backgrounds. I'm just now stepping into the barber game. As like you said, I feel like I have that personality. I can have that connection with. But like now, I want to build my brand to level. I want to take my barbering skills to the next level. So now, like I want to combine the field that I was once in and still kind of in, but
What was that field? What was that field?
fashion.
Okay.
So I'm actually a fashion designer. Like I cut and sew, I make garments from ground up. So I want to trigger the mindset of those that come from that field of like fashion. You're the everyday guy that wants to look good when he goes to his corporate job, or even
Absolutely.
like now you have the new direction of like these athletes, like the high school athletes, like their platform, their Instagram is onto the next level, and they
Mm-hmm.
like to look a certain way. They want a certain cut when they step on the basketball court. They like shoes. I like shoes.
Yeah.
I'm a big shoe
Yeah.
fan. So how
Yeah.
do I incorporate all that into that and show like, hey, this is where I'm coming from. This is what I do. This is what I build. And I want to share this world with you, and I hope you want to be a part of my world as I want to be a part of your world. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So the fastest path to that, is go find you two or three people that are into fashion and do their haircuts for free, or do the four haircuts for a good rate, right? That's a win-win situation for you, y'all both. And you get good pictures. You hire your photographer to take pictures of that whole process,
Hmm.
right? And then you make them brag about you, right, to their people. Because if they have an audience, right, you go borrow their audience by you servicing them. And the haircut doesn't even have to be that phenomenal. But if they once, you know what I mean, it's not about that. Remember, it's not about how great you cut. Yes, you want to be good at what you do. But before that, you want to build that relationship. That's the foundation. You know what I'm saying? So go find you three or four people that are fashionists, right? And once you find those couple people, you know what I mean, you do your photo shoots, you take great pictures, and you show that collaboration together,
Yeah.
right? And you make those two brands come together, right? And then all of a sudden, before you know it, you've sown those seeds into that arena, it's gonna put, wow, it's gonna grow like wildfire, bro. Like, I understand that, because I mean, it's all about partnerships, bro. We're in a partnership age. You gotta understand that. It's about, like, I mean, like, you're doing this podcast. This is a partnership. Like, I share, you share. I share, you share. Right?
Yeah,
But if you're trying to bring two industries together, which I think is a phenomenal idea. In fact, I think those two go great together. You
yeah,
know, I think, but if you find you one or two people that's willing to grow with you, or allow, pull you up. I mean, the sky is, there is no limit for you. You know what I mean?
correct.
So I think that's the most important part. But again, you got to know where they hang out at. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Where they hang out at, you go find them on Instagram, or, wherever they're at, YouTube, wherever they're at, and you start building a relationship with them. You know what I'm saying?
exactly. Yeah, and I mean, yeah, you hit it right on the nugget. It's funny that like for this whole week, I was on that same path of like thinking of like, what's my next stage? What's my next move? How can I really define myself in this area that I really want to, capitalize on? And then all of a sudden
Hmm.
you hit me out of the blue, like, hey, let's talk, let's get on that live. So I feel
Yeah.
like, that energy I was putting out, you felt it, and it was like, hey, let's talk about it. So yeah, talk about the stuff that you got going on. I know you got a new
But
platform stuff that you want to share with people. Your how to really define yourself as a person in this industry, entrepreneur, not, but also how to capitalize it in a great direction. Like, tell me what you got going on right now.
yeah, so one of the things that I've been able to do as a barber, I've been able to multiply my income in many different ways,
Mm,
right? And one of those ways is not only by standing behind the chair. You know what I'm saying? So I'm 6'2", man, 225 pounds, man. So I'm a big
yeah,
guy, right? So,
I'm right
but
there
here's
with
the,
you.
you're right with me, right? So one of the troubles that I've had over the years cutting hair was, I'm so tall, and most of the chairs that I always ever had only went to a certain height length, right? So I was always kind of like leaning over cutting hair, and I would cut for hours at a time. I grew a big clientele base, had a big barber shop, 9 barber chair. I had, it's all good, gravy, good stuff. But when I cut, I end up getting arthritis in my neck,
Mm,
right? So, like, just leaning over cutting all day. So now I got arthritis in my neck, so I got to go to chiropractor, probably, until it gets gone. It's definitely there. So I
yeah.
got to get that shaken up, often. Well,
Okay.
the thing about that is when that actually happened, I couldn't cut hair for a while. Like, I was in so much pain, you know what I'm saying?
Mm,
And I was like, man, this is how I make my living, though. You know what I'm saying? This is how I really make my money. So I had, I'm trying to cut myself rich. And, I was spending hours and hours in the barbershop. So I had to hit a roadblock. I was hurting, and I couldn't cut as much as I like. I had all these clients. So I had to figure out a different way to make money. You know what I'm saying? So I tried to cut myself rich, and that didn't work. So I decided to I asked this one question, bro. How can I make money without using my hands? And
mm,
that one question changed the projection of my life as a barber, as a business owner. So now, like, um, what I do is I started to productize my services. You know what I mean? In other words, take my services and put them in a product, right? So, because what I realized, it takes the same amount of time to sell one service than it does to sell 1,000 services, right? Right? At the same time, same amount of time. So what most barbers and stylists do, because you're so good at what you do, you're your own fulfillment. Meaning, you have to do you don't get paid till you do the work.
yeah, right.
Well, right? You don't get paid till you do the work. So you got to cut all the hair. You know what I'm saying? But most people don't sell products. They don't sell hair products. They don't sell shampoo products. They don't sell brushes. And if they do, they don't sell them enough to make a living off of them.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Because they rely more on their skill set, right? Well, if you allow your income to be based on your skill set, then your income will be based on your time behind the chair. And that limitation, and I used to think that wasn't a limit.
Yeah.
But after all of that pain I was going through, I was like, man, this is capping out. There is a glass ceiling. I can see I can make more, but I can't get past this ceiling. So
Hmm.
what I do now is I've done it for myself. I started productizing my services, meaning I got into the coaching space. I started writing books. I started, doing master classes and teaching stuff that I know, and creating other different incomes for myself that now all those other incomes surpass me actually cutting hair, and I can literally retire myself from behind the chair. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's the most important piece is that like, you know, like as much as I still got my game. I still can compete with any barber on the planet right now, right?
Yeah.
But I don't have to. I cut because I want to. I don't cut because I have to. And I think that's what's important for our industry. So if a person like yourself just getting out of school and you're just getting into this game and you have a bigger vision, you want to get into fashion, you want to do all these other things, you have these big goals. I think one thing that they don't teach us in school is how do we you leverage our industry in a way that we can make the max amount of money possible and not be stuck behind a chair, you know, for the rest of our lives. Because once you get all these customers, now what happens next is your heart's in it because you love on your clients and they be like, you can't go nowhere. You my barber for life, right? Have you heard that? Oh man, I don't care what you do, you're gonna be my barber forever. Well, that's only half
Yeah.
true. Because if you get a job and move to
Yeah.
Texas, you're gonna leave me behind. I'm still here. Right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Right.
You know, that's only
Yeah.
half true. So that's
Yeah.
not fair, you know what I'm saying, in that way. So you gotta learn how to get more income, you know what I'm saying, in this industry. And it's so much, right? And I've been going to these hair shows for years, you know, and then I used to see people come into the hair industry and they're not even in the industry and they make millions and millions of dollars. Why? Because they're selling products as services. You know what I mean? And they'll leverage a barber like you or me and they have you advertise their products, their beard oils, their haircut, their hair colors, their shampoos, and you're selling them to your clients, but they're making millions. But you're doing the hard work, right?
Mhm.
So, but they're not even in the industry. So they don't even have a real desire. They just understand business. So what I teach is how to understand business so you can get yourself from behind a chair and do what you really got in the industry for, was that true freedom.
See,
No.
it's like maybe I'm doing like a devil advocate kind of thing. So I hear what you're saying, but that sounds to me that sounds like someone that's been in the industry for at least 10 years plus, or a little bit just a little bit less, where they can kind of gravitate to like, okay, now I know what I did behind the chair. Now I can know where I want to go. For someone like like myself, or someone that's like the students that's coming out the gate now,
Mm-hmm.
what would be the right direction for them to move forward? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it sounds good to be like, okay, you got to this point, but like you said, you've been in the game 20 plus. So
Mm-hmm.
you knew at a certain point in your life, in your career, or at behind that chair, it was some time to make a change.
Mm-hmm.
For the students that's coming out and they're trying to gravitate towards everything, like I can do that, I can do this, I can do that. What do you exactly tell them before you start making these moves to try to get everything you can in one pot? Like,
Mm-hmm.
what is the main thing you think they should focus on first, and then gradually start moving?
Yeah, I think what you're saying is good, but don't forget about you always got to have an end game,
Hmm.
right? You got to have an end game, and the most important part is you want to start with the end in mind,
Hmm.
right? So if you have an end game and you start with the end in mind, everything is strategy, right? So you know this is chess, not checkers,
Hmm.
right? I'm not just jumping over a couple of things. I want to make a move, right? I got in this industry because I wanted to build for my family, my kids, my future. You know what I'm saying? So if that is the case, I have to set up the pieces correctly,
Okay.
right? So I don't think it's for. I think that's for anybody that really want to build a legacy from this industry, right? Because if that's the case, you know, you can easily get stuck, right? You can easily get stuck, and you can what they call the shiny object syndrome. Because trust me, I done did all. I got trophies. I done did all of the stuff. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I had it.
Yeah.
I got in it. You know what I mean? I got in early. I won trophies. I won awards. I got all of the stuff. I got all that stuff,
Hmm.
right? But then once you get all of that stuff, your success is your biggest setback, your last success. Because every time you keep getting success, you're like, oh, I gotta get another one. And then you find yourself stuck. But the one thing that I would tell a person that's new is master something. You gotta learn, don't just get good at everything, master one thing. If you want to be a design artist, master designs. If you want to be just a clean fade guy, master clean fades. You're gonna be a color, master color. Whatever it is, master something. And then once you master that thing, you go on to the next one. And you then what you're doing, then you're stacking mastery on top of mastery on top of mastery instead of being good at a whole bunch of stuff.
Hmm.
Right? right? You want to be the master of one thing. Then when you master that thing, you productize that and you can make more money that way, right? And just keep stacking your money up and keep stacking up your skills.
Correct.
That's how you play the end game. You know what I'm saying? You
Mhm.
start with the end in mind. Look, I don't want to do everything. I want to be the person. Like, I'm giving an example. When you think of burgers, who do you think of?
In and out.
In and Out. Okay, you say In and Out. Most
Yeah.
people say McDonald's,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Most people say McDonald's. You say
Yeah.
In and Out. Why? Because In and Out branded themselves for burgers, right?
Correct.
Or where you're at, right? In California, right? Now, when you think of cell phone, what do you think? What company you think of?
Verizon.
Verizon. All right. Now, you think of Apple. Who do you think of?
Computers.
Person wise.
Oh, Steve. What's his last
Steve
name?
Jobs,
Yeah, Steve
right?
Jobs.
Steve Jobs. But
Yeah.
you realize that Steve Jobs been dead over 10 years.
Yeah.
He's been dead. Why? Because he mastered the art of cell phones and computers, right?
Mhm.
When you think of Apple, you think of Steve Jobs, even after he's been dead for 10 years. Why is that? It's because he built a brand around his mastery.
Correct.
So and then after he built his brand around his mastery, it's not that he just do one thing. He's the master of the iPhones, iPads, iMacs. You see what I'm saying? So in other words, let's translate that to barbers. You know what I mean? You master fades. Okay, cool. So now you can raise your fades to a premium price. You can charge 100, 200, 300, whatever your price is,
Mhm.
right? You can if you're just good at it. All right? You can't raise your price if you're just good. You have to be
Correct.
great. You know what I mean? You have to be a master of it. And when you do that, you know what I mean, you stack on enhancements. So now you got a dope fade with enhancements, right? So that raises your value. So now
Yeah.
you got a dope fade with enhancements and a beard trim that raises your value. So stack mastery on top of mastery is what I would tell a new person getting out of school, and stop trying to do everything that you see on Instagram and all of that. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you master your art.
Exactly. And that's what I wanted you to really explain because I know like everybody is so focused on like the content base of like taking pictures and impressing, the next barber. But sometimes, that barber is not really looking at what you're doing. You need to,
Absolutely not.
yeah,
But
focus. Go.
so yeah. So let me can I interject on that?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because this is. I'm glad you said that, bro. Because this is the confusion. People, the barbers and people with content creators, they have this misconception that if I post this dope haircut, I'm gonna get a whole bunch of likes. Well, yeah, kind of maybe. It depends on who you're trying to impress.
Hmm.
But most people are trying to impress barbers, right? Because they're posted and want to get posted by Barbershop Connect. And I love Barbershop Connect. Lee is my guy. I'm not hating on that. But what I'm
Yeah.
saying is it's a great platform to get your brand going.
Hmm.
But it's not going to build your business locally.
Exactly. Yeah.
So if you're gonna locally, remember I said in order to go global, you got to blow up local.
Hmm.
So if you want to go blow up local, because that's where your income is coming from. So yeah, it's dope to be a content creator and taking those dope photos and pictures, but use the hashtags in your city. You know what I'm saying? And stop marketing to barbers like Barber Life and Barber. You know what I mean? That's not going to get you money unless you're trying to go work for Andy's company and so on and so forth.
It's
So
funny.
it's
I was just talking to one of my guy, Leon, throwing out names, Leon the barber, and
mhm.
he's out of Baltimore. And we was having this, conversation, and he was, asking me like, how am I doing in my neighborhood? Like, how am I, making myself known in my area? And I was like, like you said, going on Instagram, hashtagging Inglewood, the name of the barbershop and stuff like that. And then I was like, and then when I'm not doing that, I'll go outside the barbershop. And like I said, I told him, I'm in this plaza with multiple stores and, a lot of people are in there. I said, I walk around and, try to do my connection. And he was like, well, it's a point. You need to get to a point where you don't even need to walk out the barbershop because they already know you there. And he was like, go to Facebook and use the Facebook community apps and locations and start putting your information on there. And I never thought about that until he said that. And when you speaking on what you're talking about now, made me think about that as well. Like, it's good to, start in your area before you can get to the broader range. And how do you do that? And I feel like barbers coming up now need to know that you need to, wherever barbershop you're at, and that's what you want to call home, you need to make that spot be home and let people know, hey, this is where I'm at
No.
and this is where you come to me. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a couple ways, man. I'll give you a couple of quick hacks, man. I mean, like, yeah, absolutely. The Facebook is definitely a hack, right? Go to your Facebook, local Facebook where they do events, and just go in that Facebook group and just starting conversations.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Literally, just starting conversations in their DMs. And as you're doing that, then you book them a consultation, book them to your book appointment,
Hmm.
right there in that conversation, right? And I mean, you can literally like I'm about to give you the real game. If you go into three Facebook groups every day,
Hmm.
3 to 5 Facebook groups every day, and you go comment and start 5 to 10 conversations every day, right? I'm about to give you some real game. You can
Okay.
start 3 to 5 conversations every day.
I'm taking
You know
notes.
what I'm saying? Real talk every day, and just start 3 to 5 conversations, right? And I would say about 5 to 10, but whatever the number is. But if
Hmm.
you start those conversations, and each day your goal is to book 10 to 20%. You want to get them on your calendar. So let's just do simple math. If you go 3 to 5 groups, and that's 10 conversations a piece. Let's say that. So that's 30 different people. 20% of that is 15 people, right? Right. 30, 10% is that right? I said 30. No, that's not right. I said 30 people. Um, I said 30 people. 10% of that is 3 people. 20% would be about 6 people, right? So about 6 people a day. You can book 6 people a day on your books. That's a 20% close rate,
Okay.
right? So how would you like to spend an hour a day and book 6 new people on your books every day, right? For the rest of the week. Now, what does that tell you? 6 times 5, that's 30. You got 30 new clients. You
Correct.
see what I'm saying? You got 30 new clients at the end of the week. You do that over the month, right?
Hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So you almost got 100 new clients in 1 month by just doing that strategy right there. And if you want to build your clientele up, right now, that's only a 20% close rate. What if you're a little bit better than that? What if you're a little bit better having conversations? You might be at a 30% close rate, right? So that increases your close rate. In other words, that increases your booking, right? And now it's new people, right? And then the most important strategy, if you do them well, you treat them right, you're going to ask them for a referral. So that doubles your books right there. But if you put that into a system, right, you really automate you just start printing clients. You know what I'm saying? And you don't have to walk out your doors,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But it's the power of it's the power of leveraging social media in an intelligent way,
Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And I promise you, a lot of people just don't know that, right? People they just
What?
don't know that. They just don't know that. And not only that, here's the cool thing. Here's the cool thing, bro. Here's the funny thing about it. I just shared that with you right here, right now,
Yeah.
right? Which is cool. And even the people that watch this, a good chance 95% of them aren't going to do it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So, and they're going to still be like, how do I grow my clientele? Well, I just gave you a ninja hack on how to do it. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So, yeah, fire, bro.
And that was free, y'all.
That's
Imagine
free.
what information y'all get.
That's free. I just showed you I get 100 clients in a month. Real talk.
Nah, man. I don't even know where to go after that because I'm already ready to.
Absolutely. That's a
Yeah,
fact. That's what's
but
up.
what 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 are you looking for in the next? I'll say in the next 5 months. Like what is your goals for the next 5 months?
My goals next month.
Yeah, 5 months.
Next 5 months.
Yeah.
Um, uh, my goals in the next 5 months is to have at least two. No, in the next 5 months, I want to have at least 2 to 3 $100,000 months.
Okay.
That's my goal.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yep. That's my goal right there.
And then what is it? What is it that you're hoping? Well, I would say hoping. Well, what would you like to see more of in this area, in this field that you're working in? what are you hoping, or I guess I could say hoping that people are starting to take in and see more of what you're putting out, and how do you want them to really capitalize on it, where you could see where they come to you and be like, hey, I went to your program. I sat down and used every key information that I
Yeah.
have to, like, what is it that?
So my goal is to help. Um, so I have a small goal. This is a smaller goal that I'm looking to do. I want to help by the end of this year. I'm going to say this now because I haven't said it on live. So you got it first. I want to be able to help by the end of this year at least 50 new barbers and stylists to get to at least $20,000 a month.
Okay.
All right. So I would like to be able to do that. I would like to be able to help other barbers, my 50 barbers, get to, I say $20,000 a month. Because if you can get to 20, you can get to 50. If you can get to 50, you can get to 60. You can get to 60, you can get to 60, and so on and so forth. So I have strategies and principles that work. And you might say, what are principles? Principles are like laws that work no matter, they work for those that work them, right? So if you apply them, they're either working for you or they're working against you, but they're always working. So I have a strategy, I have strategies that can help barbers make $20,000 a month, right? So, behind the chair or even not behind the chair. You know what I'm saying? You can do it in a combination. You can be a hybrid. You don't have to be the barber robot no more. So that's what I'm looking to do, man. I'm looking to help people literally take this art of barbering and maximize, squeeze all of the juice out of it so you can buy back your time.
And then what stages of programs do you have that for certain
Go
people?
lay
Like,
down, man. Say
it,
again. I'm sorry. My
no,
dog over here crying like a mug, bro.
do you have certain like stages for like certain people that are like the beginner stage, and then when they pass the beginner stage and they're like in the medium stage, like, and then they feel like they're now advanced. You have like those type of packages, or it just like one.
I think it's a mindset thing, man. If your mindset is ready, it doesn't matter where you're at. You know what I
Okay.
mean? So it's more of the mindset shift.
Okay.
Although I do have courses. I have courses and books. Like if you feel like you want to get to know me better first, or, go through some of my content first, sure. I got books and I got courses on how to, be a six-figure barber, seven-figure barber. I got courses on stuff like that already online. Click the link in my bio, you can get some of those things. But outside of that, if you want to join like my coaching program, like I can take you there as long as you have the mindset. Like it's about long as a person is coachable,
Yeah.
right? I don't want to drag nobody into no coach with me, because if I got to drag you in, I got to drag you around. I'm not interested in that.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But what I am interested in is people that are coachable. I can help them get, whatever their goals are, especially in this industry.
I'm looking forward to that. Yeah.
Absolutely.
We definitely gonna have to talk because
Absolutely.
you got it going. So,
Absolutely.
I know we said we was gonna talk about we spoke. I know before, and I don't know if people got a chance to. I know I see some of the numbers like going up on our first IG live, but is there anything first kind of speak
Say
on,
again.
or like recap on this one right now? I know we spoke about financing. Maybe you feel like that should be another thing we should tackle.
Yeah, we can. Let's do it. Um, oh, I got stuck. I ain't trying to go out here without my blinds. My bad. Uh, you said what now? What'd you say, bro?
Like like I said, I know we spoke on financing. We spoke on like we just chopping up now how to maneuver yourself to be in the chair, and then kind of maneuver yourself from being behind the chair. That I think we spoke on, like, if we thought the barbershop is a great direction for people that's coming out of college or coming out of these schools. Like, if they go strictly, if they have the clientele, or if they don't have the clientele, is a good go ahead for like just learn and
I think I mean, I think everybody should probably get in a shop,
okay,
right? Because more is caught than taught when you're around the right people.
correct.
You know what I'm saying? When you're the only one learning and you're only one teaching, you know what I mean? You're actually learning in what's called a vacuum, right? You know what I mean? There's nothing that you can catch.
Correct.
right? So you'll catch a lot of bad habits, you know what I'm saying? But when you're around an environment, you know what I'm saying, you want to put yourself in an environment that's being nurtured and able for you to grow, right? So I think that's just my personal perspective. I think anybody that's just coming out, you want to make sure you get under a master barber that, or you know what I'm saying, that knows how to have a successful business, that understands how to take care of people, that understands what customer service really looks like, and you know how to actually really make business work in this industry, and not to just get in any industry where and most importantly, you want to be in a barbershop where the owner actually cares about the people. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people get in shops and people just, as long as you drop boofriend, they cool. Well, that's only, I mean, because you know what I'm saying. That's not totally cool though, right? Because I mean, if you treat it like a business, you know what I mean, then it'll pay you like a business. A lot of people get in the barber industry and they have the mindset of, you know, this is a hustle,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not a hustle. It's a profession. You know what I'm saying? So the mindset has to shift. And when you think that I'm a business and I put my stuff on the right path, right mentorship, right business, right energy, is all of that is in alignment. I can set myself up for success. I'm gonna give you one quick hack though, because when I said it, I thought about something,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna share this real quick while it's on my mind. Um, One thing that I believe barbers, one of the mistakes they do financially is they don't build their credit,
Mm-hmm.
right? And most barbers and stylists have no idea how to leverage credit or anything like that. And they get in the industry and then they end up owning Uncle Sam more than they own themselves, right? So, but here's a quick hack. Like if your booth rental, if your commission, doesn't even matter, but pay your booth rent with your credit card. Get a credit card if you don't have one already. Pay your booth rent with your credit card every week and then pay it off. You're going to pay booth rent anyway, right? So pay it with your credit card, which now that builds your credit. You see what I'm saying? And then you can pay it off with the cash you're going to use anyway. You see what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying?
That's
So
smart.
that's going to build your credit score and it's going to build your report. You know what I mean? And then after that point, you know what I'm saying, if you start treating it like a business, what you can do then is, you know what I'm saying, you can put yourself on a W-2. You go get your LLC and be the LLC of that barbershop. Even though you're in the barbershop and you're, you know what I mean, you're in what you call it? Um,
Employee.
you're not an employee if you're booth rent.
Okay.
Uh,
Well,
Independent contract. That's what I was looking for. Even though you're an independent contractor, you can be an LLC. So, for an example, um, you
explain
can.
that a little bit, like, because I want people to really understand that. So,
Okay.
if you're a barber at a barber shop and you pay the barber for the chair, you don't you don't really consider yourself still an employee under that shop.
No, because if I'm an employee, then I should get workers' comp. I should get W-2. I should get taxes already taken out, and all of those things, right?
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? I should get a paid vacation. But if you're a booth rent, you don't get none of those things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So a booth renter, you're responsible for your own paid vacations because even though you're out of town for a week, you still got to pay your own booth rent, right? Right. So that means that lets you know right there that you're not a W-2.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So
So I just
so
want you to share that because a lot of people do believe like even though they're at the shop they're like like oh I should be able to no pay when I'm there or
no, absolutely not. That's not
yeah,
true. Because if you want that type of treatment, then then that's fine. We can do that.
keep
But you're going to get paid $12 an hour or $10 an $14 an hour, and you know what I'm saying. So you're going to get a percentage, and I'm going to, we're going to take taxes out of your account and all of that stuff. If because I ran a commission business for a while,
going.
so
And what's the
so
benefit of the commission if you went commission based instead of like paying the booth rent?
yeah, there's pros and cons. So it's pros and cons on both for the owner and for the barber, right?
Hmm.
Now, what perspective you want me to talk from?
Both.
All right, cool. So you just want me to give you some game, huh? Okay. Okay, look, from I talk from the barber's perspective first.
Okay.
From the barber's perspective, being commission versus booth rent. So booth rent, the barber's perspective is I do what I want. I come whenever I want. I leave when I want, and I ain't got no responsibilities. I ain't got to clean up. I ain't got to do nothing. I'm my own boss, right? That's the mindset,
Mm-hmm.
right? And that's what they believe, even though that's totally not how it is, but that's what they believe. I pay my boo friend, I shouldn't have to do anything, right? That's the mindset. Well, with commission, it's, you're considered an employee, semi, right? You can be a semi-employee. What I mean by that is, like, there's sometimes that you can still be a subcontractor, but you're not necessarily an employee, right? But if it's a little different. So what that looks like is, um, one of the ways I did it, every person that came in the barbershop, um, I get a percentage, right? I get a percentage. So whatever that percentage is, you can do 60-40, you can do 50-50, you can do 70-30. That, whatever percentage you put in, that's what you put in, right? But it's a percentage base. So as the owner, his or her responsibilities is to market the business and make sure that, there's always work,
Correct.
right? Whereas in booth rent, you're responsible for your own work. You're responsible for your own clients,
Mm-hmm.
right? You have to market you at all, because there's no reward for me to market for you, right? If there's only a little bit of booth rent left.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? But as a commission or percentage, there is an incentive as the owner for me to market for you. Why? Because if I get a piece off of every person that walks in that door, that's my incentive. If you get paid, I get paid, and I want you to get paid because I want to get paid. Now it's a win-win. That's why I like the commission model, right? I had on my business model like that, I had 3 barbers become 6-figure barbers on commission, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because how I market for my shop, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But when they weren't on commission, they weren't 6-figure barbers. Why? It's because they didn't know how to
Yeah.
market like I.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the incentive is, hey, if you don't know how to market, I would rather have 50% of a watermelon than have 100% of a grape, right?
Yeah.
But the mindset says I want to do my own thing. So that's the difference between commission versus booth rent, and that's the mindset behind it,
Yeah.
right? So the mindset behind it is, hey, it's more meat on the bone for both of us.
Correct. Okay. That was some dope knowledge because I always wanted to know because I've been seeing a lot of that being popped up now on social media. And, a lot of people like, oh, we can do, you pay me straight booth rent or we can do commission. I always wanted to know what was the difference between the two. Yeah. So,
Because if you want to do booth rent, then that works better for me. I ain't got you on your own.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I don't want to be like that, but if that's what you want, that's what you want. You see
Hmm.
what I'm saying? Therefore, don't be mad when all of these people are here eating more than you, and they getting, they paying a little bit more of a percentage, but they get more in return. You see what I'm
Correct.
saying?
Yeah.
So it's a mindset. But so many people want to come to a barbershop and be, and it's like a selfless, right? They only care about themselves.
Yeah.
I build teams. That's why I say it's about the environment. You want to be in a shop that cares about the environment and the people. I'm not saying you can't do that with booth rent, because you can. I did myself. You know what I'm saying? So if you got the right people with the right mindset, and you got a barber or a shop owner that has vision,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
You guys far.
Yeah.
But if that shop owner has no vision, right? Then that, without vision, people perish.
Mhm.
So you gotta have you've been a shop that has vision. Therefore, you know what I'm saying, if you do get in that space, it's the right environment, it's the right type of people. You know what I'm saying? And they got the right systems. So that's how that works.
So I like, I definitely enjoy these conversations because this is what is a lot. I feel like, man, if I would have knew a lot of this in the earlier stages, like maybe I would have jumped to being a barber a little bit faster. Because I just felt like it was just like a fast paced, like me type industry, like But I feel like now, for some reason, I just feel like now I'm seeing a lot of people who are willing to. I don't know if just after COVID or maybe it was starting to shift before COVID, but I feel like a lot of people are really trying to instill to everybody and show more of this industry as a real business. Like, hey, you really can capitalize, you can really move mountains in this industry if you do it the correct way, and this is how you do it. And I'm grateful that I got that opportunity to meet you, chop it up with you, and then yeah,
Yeah.
all the information that you're sharing. I definitely want to check out your programs. I definitely want to, once I can get myself in that area where I feel really comfortable, to really gravitate to you and really see where we can move and how we can move this, forward. Just me being a part of your layout. But I'm truly, I think this is truly dope. How you giving back and how you really try to, lead the way in this industry and give people the opportunity to know that, hey, no matter where you at, how you started, and if you're in this industry now, this is where you can go, and this is how you can really, make a great living for yourself.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
and you can. I mean, but like you said, to your point, I mean, there's always been people doing business the right way. They just weren't on social media as much.
Yeah.
I mean, and I've been going to hair shows, since 2008, right?
Hmm.
And and I've been networking with, you know, people that's doing big business in this industry for a long time.
Hmm.
And I realized that the people that do big business, they have systems. They had, here's the thing, this is what I learned about wealthy people. Wealthy people do three things right. They automate, they delegate, or they eliminate, right? So, and and if you want to have a wealthy business, a wealthy barbershop, if you want to be a wealthy barber, you got to make sure you incorporate that into your business. You got to automate, delegate, or eliminate. The problem is no one taught you how to do that,
Hmm.
right? They don't teach that in school, and then there's no continued education for, say, quote unquote, for barbers after they graduate. So any of the education when it comes to elevating your mindset and your business and your tool sets, it has to come hands on.
Hmm.
And if you're in an environment, then you don't get it, right? So, like I said, that's why I said like you want to be in the right environment because more is caught than taught. You know what I mean? You pick up on, what's actually working by actually seeing it and being in that environment, not just by, seeing it on social media, right? Because social media isn't always how it really is.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, most people can't automate anything because they don't know what to automate. Most barbers can't delegate anything because they have no idea what to delegate. And most people can't eliminate anything because they want to do everything. You see
Yeah.
what I'm saying? But therefore now they have no time.
Hmm.
You have time with your family. You don't have time with your kids. You don't have time for yourself. All of your time goes to your clients. Now
Hmm.
you make money, but you don't even know how to spend it. And when you do spend it, it's not being spent on the things that can make you better. It's spent only on the things that makes you feel good at that time. And then once you spend it on those things that makes you feel good at that time, you got to go back in the barbershop and work harder for the same feeling to fill that void because you feel like you deserve to feel good, which you do. But you also deserve to feel good and financially independent
Is,
and have
is that a part of your program as well? Just to show like barbers how to, create more assets for themselves to, just
absolutely.
yeah, yeah, that's dope.
I'm gonna tell you. Let's see. Oh, my bad.
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna tell you something.
Mm.
Uh, this one thing changed my whole trajectory. I keep saying trajectory. How you? This changed the whole mindset of like cutting. Like I remember I used to cut hair for hours upon hours. I still love cutting hair.
Mhm.
Um, I don't want to lose my skill set, right?
Correct.
Um, but there was one time I was cutting hair and I was just doing a beard trim, right? And I charged $40 for a beard trim.
Mhm.
And I was just doing a beard trim. It took me about 20 minutes to do it, right? And at the same time, I was trading some stock options at the
Mhm.
same time, right?
He said,
So at the same time, you know what I mean? So I jumped into play on the options, right?
yeah.
And whatever. I jumped into play and I started doing my beard trim, hooking him up, whatever, right? It took me 20 minutes to do it. I charged $40 and they paying me the $40 for the beard trim in 20 minutes. Okay, pretty good money,
Mhm.
right? And I looked at my option, my stock option trade. Same 20 minutes, I made $427. I
Mhm.
said, wait a minute, wow! And at that moment, you know what I thought about? It's easier to make a little bit of money in a
Yeah.
shorter period of time than it is make. It's easier to make a lot of money in a shorter period of time than it is make a little money in a little longer period of time,
Yeah.
right? Because that same $400, I don't charge $400 for a haircut.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So within that hour, that if I'd have did a couple, I would have to do a few beard trims to make that $427.
Mhm.
But in that 20 minutes, it was only $40. I made a $40 beard trim. but I had a $400 return on my investment, and all I did was click a button. That's when I knew. I said, okay, I got to figure out how can I make more money faster. Not saying I got to give up on barbering, but I got to learn how to create some additional income streams and some more additional assets.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? So now I don't have to cut hair. I get to cut hair.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah, and I do. I teach people how to do that stuff, man. So like you can buy back. You can buy back your time and enjoy your art.
Man, this was wonderful, man. I'm truly honored that you reached out to me, and like I said, I had a lot of questions on my mind. I was really writing down a lot of things where I wanted to take my next steps. And like I said, when you hit me out the blue and like, hey, let's chop it up. I mean, you answered a lot of my questions of what I wanted to do and where I wanted to go in this field. Is it something else that you felt like you wanted to touch on?
No, man, I'm all good. I appreciate chopping it up with you. The only other thing I would say is anybody want to learn more about what I got going on, make sure you join my challenge. It's called Productize Your Service Challenge. You can go to the link in my bio and get a ticket. And it's going to be a virtual event. And I'm going to be talking some of these principles and how you can multiply your income.
Yeah.
And, what I mean?
Go in on that. Let's talk about that a little bit more.
Yeah. So, productizing your services. So basically, like I said, taking your service and making money with your services. Because it's easier to make, create a service, right? Build a service out and sell it to 1,000 people at the same amount of time that you can sell it to one person. So I teach you how to productize your mastery, whatever you're good at. If you're good at cutting hair, fades, talking, doing podcasts, whatever you're good at, I teach you how to wrap it up in a package and make you more money. You see what I'm saying? So you can have more time to do what you love, cutting hair, doing podcasts, whatever it is you need to do. You know what I'm saying? So you can buy back your time. And in that challenge, it's a 5-day challenge. I'm going to be teaching you how to do that.
Back your time. I like that. You have like something I could post on my content, send that over to me and I'll definitely
Yeah. Absolutely.
I'll definitely shoot. But I like that. Your time. Yeah, I like that.
You got to buy back your time, man. Absolutely.
I think you're amazing. You're a great dude. I love everything that you're doing. I hope this continue. Our conversation, our connection is a continuation of more to come. And if I got something going on, but definitely reach out to you. And whenever you got something going on, don't be afraid to hit me up and let me know.
Appreciate it, bro.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.
keep winning, man.
Absolutely. Peace
All
and
right,
love.
all right, man.
All right.